What's going on, guys? This is Pikachu OTC from Simple Trade. Welcome to another video, another weekly review in which I'll be talking about some runners from the past week, and I'll talk about one potential future runners as we head into the next week, because there is some interesting stuff that is going on over there. We will talk about this stock on the final part of this video, so stay tuned for that. And we will first begin with the stock SIMPQ, and yes, as you can see on the chart, the stock actually ran 25,000%. This is absolutely nuts. I have not seen this in the OTC ever, not even on the February 2021 bull run. Now you can see that the volume is pretty low. I mean, 100,000, 200,000, that's not much. But when you compare it to the price of the stock, where the stock got this volume even above the dollar sign, you can see here 700,000 volume and even $800,000 when the stock was at the prices of $3.5, meaning that there was 5 minutes where there were more than $2 million traded. This is absolutely insane, and there was so much millionaires that were made on that run, and also so many people who lost a lot of money, because you can see that as the price went up so hard, it also dropped down so hard. Now obviously there is not one person in the world who could have made 25,000% on that run, because there is no way you could have known that something like that will happen unless you can see the future. But when the volume started picking up right here, you might have put in a lot of size position. And when I say lot of size, it's because no one knows what will happen on the stock. When it was at this price, it was already up thousands of percents, and we do not chase stocks that ran up more than thousands of percent or even 100%. So you put only what you can afford to lose. Now what happened on that run is not quite clear. As Bobby Bullish mentioned on our Discord channel and got the attention to us by saying that SIMPQ is in default to GameStop, and it is up already 4,000%, and there is 1.2 million bid at the price of 0.65. Now that kind of bid is more than $500,000. This is absolutely not retail. This is only a market maker, and the assumption is that he is covering his short position, and that might have caused the insane run at the beginning. Moreover, there are people who say that this is Reddit guys trying to run the stock because it is simp. If you know what simp is, just Google it, you can find it by yourself. And also because it's default to GameStop, so maybe GameStop will take them out of their bankruptcy. Yes, SIMPQ is under bankruptcy. It is a pink limited information stock, the SEC delinquent reporting. It has zero revenue, zero assets, ton of debt. This is a horrible company, and still it ran 25,000%. Absolutely beautiful. Just see the potential in the OTC, and the OTC right now is one of the hottest places in the market to make money for small accounts and for big accounts as well. Now let's move on to the next stock of this weekly review. It is UVSS. The stock ran 200% in about 2 days after, check this out, a very long period of time where there was pretty much silent regarding the volume. You can see that the last time there was such high volume, the stock ran from the prices of the 0070, 0060 all the way up to the 0.04, which was around 400 to 500% of a run. Absolutely beautiful. And here what happened is the DD got found. UVSS has a ton of DD. They added a new member to the board of directors, which has an insane track record. He made companies make billions and multi-million dollars. They also have news coming in this July, and from my understanding it is mid-July, so look out for news on this company this week or the following week. It is only 76 million float, so you can see that you don't need a lot of volume to move the stock up. I mean, in one day 600,000 shares traded, and the stock went up from the price of 0053 to 0076, which is about 50%. So you do not need a lot of volume to move the stock. It has no dilution, no depth, and this is looking pretty promising. So keep your eyes out for UVSS and the news that is coming. The next stock I will be talking about today is JZZI. The stock ran in 3 days 445%. Now if you go back and look at the chart, you can see that the stock was traded at very higher places. You can see above the penny mark. Now the reason that the stock dropped down is due to dilution, and it got all the way down to the price of 0015 at some point and ran to the price of 0083. Absolutely fantastic. You can see a lot of volume here, so there was liquidity. You could have made a lot of money on that run, and the reason for that is the news that JZZI uploaded pre-market. They said that they have received a purchase for licensing its proprietary database of 35 million email records to a major internet service provider. Furthermore, they said that they will initially generate revenues from the database at a rate of $4 per licensed record. So if you take 35 million records and you multiply that by $4, you get above $120 million, while the market cap of JZZI was under $5 million. So they loved those news and people bought the stock and got it all the way up to that price. A beautiful run over here. Now let's move on to the next stock of this weekly review, which is ADHC. So we already talked about ADHC back in the channel in the previous run that it made, and also right here you can see that it has a beautiful trend. It trended from the price of 0017, the low of the lows, and ran all the way up to the price of 0057, and it could continue the run as we head into the next week. And right now we will understand why. Well, all you need to know is the Twitter page of ADHC, as on July 7th they tweeted, actually they quote tweeted a tweet from June 27th where they said that things are on track but it might take some time. And then they tweeted, loyal shareholders, things are moving faster than we thought, expect positive news next week. And one day later they tweeted, shareholders buckle up, 8-figure deal is dropping next week, and then a hashtag of road to 100 million. If you followed our weekly reviews, you know that ADHC is aiming for $100 million worth of a company by end of year. And right now they are telling us that there is an 8-figure deal which is more than $10 million that will be dropped next week. So keep your eyes out for that, as ADHC market cap is much lower than 10 million. Right now it is about $4.5 million. So by market cap speaking only, this could double the price and even more if that 8-figure is more than 10 million. So keep your eyes out for that. And on the same day they gave out another tweet saying that, just to clarify, the 8-figure deal is the first one in the pipeline, more to come. So they are aiming for $100 million. They have more than one deal in the making, and the first one will be dropping next week with 8 figures. So keep your eyes out for that stock. And now let's move on to the next one, which is CZNI. Now this stock right here reminds me of HCMC from 2021, where it ran to more than 0050, which is absolutely unbelievable for a stock like HCMC, because the float of HCMC is more than 300 billion. I mean, the amount of dollars that you need to move a stock like HCMC, we're talking about tens and hundreds of millions of dollars to move that stock to the prices of 0050. So right now we have CZNI, which has around 15 billion float, which is very heavy. I mean, every tick here is more than 500 million shares that needs to be bought to make the stock go up. And the problem here is that the stock is a dilutive machine. You can see every day there was 1 billion volume. Ever since March, the stock still went down to the price of 001, and at some point it was at the no bid, meaning that there is no one who wants to buy the stock. Right here, where the volume is so little, there was no bid whatsoever, and you can see another 1 billion slaps, another 1 billion slaps. And just look at the volume the past couple of days, absolutely insane. More than 1 billion volume every day, and right now the stock is at the price of 0005, which is 400% of a run from the 0001, and you literally could have buy 1 billion shares at the price of 0001, which by the way would be insane to even think of doing so, and you could have sell them all at the price of 0004 or 5. Well, this is equals to around $400 to $500,000 on that stock. Now I have absolutely no idea who is buying so many shares over here. All I know is that CZNI is expecting a merger, and there are only speculation about who buys so many shares. It will be very interesting to see what this stock is going to do in the future, but I will tell you this: if that stock is going out of trips, if it will cross the 001, you can expect another bull market on the OTC, because when people see a stock like CZNI going out of trips where it was at no bid, they will start comparing it to HCMC, which led their bull run on the 2021 February and January market. So keep your eyes out for that stock. It will be very interesting week when that stock, if that stock crosses the 0010. And now let's move on to the final stock of this weekly review, which is our diamond for next week, which is NHMD. So NHMD is a low floater of 500 million sitting at the price of 0021 as of Friday. It has no dilution and it is a crypto company. The company was in silence ever since February 4th, which is around 5 months, and then all of a sudden, couple of days ago, they replied to someone who asked them if there are any updates coming soon, and they said yes, we should have updates shortly. Now that was on July 5, and check the volume that got in on that date, 36 million, which is not that much of a volume, and the stock went up 100% in that day from the price of the 0014 all the way up to the 0028 on that tweet alone. And from that tweet, you can see 3 days where the stock was kind of loaded. You can see 2 million volume every day, which is not much at all. But when you look back at the chart of NHMD, ever since February, there was no volume whatsoever except one day where it got 10 million, but that's it. There was no volume here whatsoever. And you can see that the stock used to trade at a very higher prices. So now that we know updates are coming, it will be interesting to see what the stock is going to do. And on July 9th, after hours, they tweeted, "We have received a lot of inquiries about Nate's Food Company, a unique food development company with a Bitcoin mining operation platform as a hedge against inflation. We anticipate an official update about the upcoming developments at NHMD next week with much more to follow. Stay tuned." So this will be very interesting to see what that update is going to be, because it is a low float, only 500 million, sitting at a very low prices considering the other low float in the OTC, which ran a lot, like JZZI, like UVSS, like ADHC. They all ran above the 0050. Some of them even crossed the penny mark. So keep your eyes out for NHMD for that update. And that was it about this weekly review, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the future videos. Join our Simple Trade Discord community because you do not want to miss the next runner. And I wish you all a green and a profitable week.